Hi, I'm Brother Wahlquist. One of the classes I teach every semester is Teachings of the Living Prophets, and I love President Nelson. I just thought I would share some of the great things that I know about President Nelson and that I love about him and his teachings, and testify that he is indeed a prophet of God. You'll recognize President and Sister Nelson, and she is an amazing woman and has often borne testimony. I know my husband is a prophet of God. Let's just look at a couple of the things that President Nelson has taught us since he's been the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. One of the things I love in President Nelson's overall ministry is bringing us to see the Savior, Jesus Christ, helping us understand him, learn more about him, get closer to him. I think the day will come in the far future that we'll look back at President Nelson's time as president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and say he was known as the come to Jesus prophet. Everything that he has done has been to point us to the Savior, to remind us of him. Even the adjustments that have taken place with the temple and reminding us to focus on the Savior, and that it's the Savior that brings us into the presence of the Father. Everything President Nelson has done has pointed us to see the Savior in ways that we have not seen him before. In April of 2024, President Nelson made this profound statement about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and what we would be without the restoration of priesthood keys. Without priesthood keys, the church could serve only as a significant teaching and humanitarian organization. Many organizations can and do, he italicized those words, can and do make our lives better here in mortality. But no other organization, and he again italicized the words can and will, no other organization can and will influence your life after death. Without priesthood keys would just be another organization, would be a community club, would be an organization to help build homes for the poor, would be the Red Cross, would be UNICEF, would be doing good all over the world. But priesthood keys last into the next life as families are united together and can forever dwell with God. I love what President Nelson taught us in October 2023. Remember, he pre-recorded his message and sat in a chair. I was in the session of conference in the conference center in Salt Lake City when he gave this great talk. It was a recording for us as well, but President Nelson was there sitting up front. I love this teaching. Mortality is a master class in learning to choose the things of greatest eternal import. Far too many people live as though this life is all there is. However, your choices today will determine three things: where you will live throughout all eternity, the kind of body with which you will be resurrected, and those with whom you will live forever. So think celestial. Brothers and sisters, we really do have agency, but the agency isn't to live any kind of wild life we want right now. And then when we face judgment, I choose the life of God. I choose the life of the kingdom. I want to dwell with my family. No, we're actually making the choices now. We're actually making the choices now that will determine where we're going to live and the kind of resurrected, a celestial resurrected body, a terrestrial resurrected body, a telestial resurrected body, to make relationships eternal. I love the new symbol of the church that President Nelson introduced. The arch representing Jesus coming out of the open tomb with arms to embrace us. It just seems like everything President Nelson does is to point us to and bring us to the Savior. In May of 2020, President Nelson renewed his promise from 2018 that if we would use the correct name of the church, the Lord would bless us. He said he, the Lord, would pour down his power and blessings upon the heads of the Latter-day Saints, the likeness of which we have never seen. We're now years beyond that great promise, and I'm a living witness that the Lord has poured out his blessings as I have tried in my day-to-day contacts and my teaching of my classes to use the name of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I have been and continue to be blessed, a fulfillment of President Nelson's promise. Finally, did you know that so far President Nelson has announced nearly 48% of all temples of the latter days? He has announced 167 of the total of 350 total temples thus far and counting. I'm going to include a link at the bottom for a 6.5 minute long video of President Nelson announcing all 167 temples. President Nelson is a prophet of God. I testify of that truth.